So, Sausans, or maybe you're calling them Susans, or even sausages, whatever the case may be, this right here is the most grinded spot on the entire game. So why would you actually want to be grinding here? Or is it actually profitable to be grinding here? Well, I'm going to be answering these two questions on this video, so if you want to find out, make sure to stick around. Now then, for the purpose of this video, I grinded here a little over 3 hours. And in these 3 hours, I only used the B spot, because if you're coming to grind here and you grind here solo, like I did, then most likely the main spot is not going to be free. Because that one is taken by teams or highly geared people, most of the time. Also, one thing to keep in mind is that what you see behind you is not how I grinded those 3 hours. This was actually shot after the 3 hours without a UI, so it's not actually the best way to grind, because I didn't see my HP or MP or skill cooldowns. For those 3 hours I did do the entire rotation, and this is where the pets come into play, because I am using 4 tier 1 pets. And they are so slow, because I have over 200 AP, so I am mostly one-shotting every single mob, and my pets don't even get to loot half of what is on the ground. So what that means is that I have to loot myself what is on the ground, which is a big waste of time in my opinion. So if you're coming here to grind, then most likely my situation is the best case scenario, where you get to grind here for 1 hour without being pked, you have 4 tier 1 pets, and you almost one-shot every single mob. Also, another thing to note is that my node level here is 10, so the loot is not getting any better than this. And this place was nerfed a lot of times. So if you look on the loot table or the boxes or whatever I have on the screen, you will see that I didn't even get a single forbidden book in 3 hours. Also here there are no rare items to drop, so what you see on the screen is probably what you're going to get every single time. Maybe one forbidden book here and there, and that's it. So now, next up, this, whatever you see on the screen, is how much every item is worth on the marketplace, because you will be selling the armors and, in my opinion, also the blackstones on the marketplace. And I myself sell all of the Crea items, I mean the weapons and whatever else drops as weapons, and the gems. I'm selling them to the NPC to get money to repair my armor, because there's really no point in trying to sell those on the marketplace. So on the screen there is displayed separately the money that I make from the Crea weapons and the gems. Now then, this is where stuff gets a little worse, because if you want to grind here, then you really need to get a house in Kusha, which most people at low level don't have. So that will be a problem, because compared to Valencia, here the junk loot has to be turned in, so you can't exactly sell it to any NPC. Which means that if you want to grind here for extended periods of time, you have to store your items in a house in Kusha, and also that requires a container, which is about 10 contribution points. Also, another problem is that one of the drops, I believe the supply packages, can be turned in for more money in the Western Guard camp, which means that if you want to get the most profit out of this, you have to go to the Western Guard camp and turn in those separately. So then, in the end, to give you the maximum amount of money you can make in 1 hour at Sausans, I will consider that you will go to the Western Guard camp to turn in those supply packages. And for that, the number you see on the screen is exactly how much money you will make in 1 hour. And this is without considering that you will probably get pked, you will probably have to repair in 1 hour, or if you stay here for more than 1 hour you will have to go repair, and the time it takes to actually turn in all these items. And this is not even including the time you would waste using a wagon, because if you look on the screen, this is exactly how I usually go to the Sausan and grind. I take my horse, not a wagon, and I use those 3 junk loot that the Sausans drop to overweigh my horse to about, I don't know, endlessly, because once you hit around 270, the horse will not let you put any more on it, but if you are, say, under that 270 mark, you can put in one go as much as you want. And you can see that on the screen. And also, to end this video, I will display on the screen exactly how much time it takes me to go turn in all those items that I made in 3 hours. And since I farmed there about 3 hours and I can grind about 1 hour before my offhand breaks, then I will count that I go repair 2 times in this period. And the final result will be displayed on the screen, so you can watch that. At the time of filming, I have no idea what that value is. But yeah, that's about it. This is exactly how much you will be making if you actually count in all the turn-in time and repair time, and that's about it, yeah. And before I forget, no, I am not going to count on that final value the amount of money you will be spending to repair your gear and to buy more potions, because every class uses different amounts, so you can count that yourself if you want to. So now that this video is finally over, I hope you decided to go grind somewhere else. Or if you're still grinding here, I hope you're doing it for the experience and not for the money. Because if you're doing it for the money, you should really go choose a different grinding spot. Especially since this one is so populated and you will probably get pked a lot here. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching the video, I hope you enjoyed it and found it maybe somewhat useful, and see you next time.